So Jerry Jones made Zack Martin a promise that Jimmy Johnson wishes he had received decades ago. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. So last week we had Zack Martin's retirement press conference, and it was as emotional as you could expect. For many reasons, Zack Martin addressed many former teammates in his speech. He addressed the Joneses, he addressed the fans, he addressed many people. But I think what made it so emotional was that everyone seemed to be there for him. And I'm talking about former teammates, but not only players that were on the 2024 Cowboys, like, say, Dak Prescott. You also had Sean Lee in there, and Leighton Vander Esch, and Tyron Smith, and you had the likes of Tyler Viadish and Tony Romo. There were so many players there only to see Zack Martin say goodbye to football, and it was just a great experience. Now, before we get to Jerry Jones's promise, I want to share with you what Zack Martin had to say directly to fans, because you deserve to hear that. And I quote, "And finally, to Cowboys fans, I have never experienced anything like you. No matter where you go in the world, you can always find a Cowboys fan. It was an absolute privilege to run out of the tunnel every Sunday and give the city everything I had. I know many of you may have seen this decision coming, but that doesn't make it any easier. Football has been a huge part of my life, what I know, what I love, and what it shaped me for as long as I can remember. I did not make this decision lightly. It came after a long spot in prayer, but the time has come for my football journey to reach its end. As I step away from the game, I do so with a full heart, knowing I gave it everything I had." And he really did. Zack Martin earned 9 All-Pro honors throughout his career. That includes 7 first-team All-Pros, and he was the absolute example of perfect and consistency for the Cowboys for all those years. That alone will get him into the Hall of Fame. But Jerry Jones was faced with a great question from Voice of the Cowboys Brad Sham when he asked him, "Will you commit to placing Zack Martin in the Ring of Honor before he makes it into Canton, Ohio?" Now, this is a very significant question because DeMarcus Ware, for example, was inducted into the Ring of Honor after he went in the Hall. Jimmy Johnson spent 29 insulting years before going into the Ring of Honor. So it was a big question. And Jerry Jones had a very blunt, simple, yet significant response, which was yes. Now, that places a deadline for the Cowboys to place Zack Martin into the Ring of Honor, because I believe he will be a first ballot. I wrote about this for A to Z Sports, and I will link the article below. But Zack Martin has a resume to go into the Hall in his first year of eligibility. That would be 5 years from now. So that would be after the 2029 season, which makes me think that Jerry's promise will mean that in 2029, one of those primetime games will be the day that Zack Martin goes in the Ring of Honor, because the Cowboys cannot risk, after Jerry's promise, to have him go into the Hall before he goes in the Ring of Honor. So 2029 season, you can expect Zack Martin's name to go up there. Thank you for the memory, Zack. You were awesome.